Welcome to Cindy's Chronicles. Boom. Haha. What is up, my angels? Thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Thank you guys so much for coming back after that crazy week I had last week. Thank you right now to all my new subscribers. And if you are new here, go ahead and drop a comment below. Let me know you're new so that I can welcome you to my channel. Alright guys, let's get straight into this video. As you guys saw in the title, I'm about to give y'all a story time of today. And I might give y'all a short story time of my topic as well. So y'all stay tuned. Make sure you watch to the end. If you don't watch it to the end, just fast forward it. Do not stop it right here or in the middle and mess up my algorithm. Okay? Y'all, I needed... First, I want to say, I know that I said I was going to do every day for the month of August. But after all that negativity, I had to log off for 3 days and do me a cleanse. I could not cleanse and be on this internet, y'all. I just could not. All right. So, I've cleansed and I'm still going. But I am back. And I appreciate you guys for coming back with me. So, let's get into it. I went to the chiropractor this morning, all right? You guys know school just started, so I've been on my feet doing hair. I've been on my feet just doing a lot of stuff lately. But standing in one spot for a long time, y'all, the bottom of my back had started, yeah. So I was thinking, but it wasn't like a pain. It was more like I just kept feeling like I needed to stretch, like I just needed to stretch real bad. So I made me an appointment with a chiropractor. When I got in there, she did some x-rays. She asked me, did I have any accidents, all the normal stuff. So after my x-rays, they had already put some little stuff on my back. They stretched me. I was feeling a little good. So she brought me in a little room and she said, she started to ask me questions, which I've never been to a chiropractor to ask me these kind of questions. But God knows I needed her more than she knew I needed her. So she asked me what has been going on in my... Well, first she asked me, is my shoulders hurting at the top? I was like, no. Mind you guys, I have a high tolerance for pain. She was like, well, what about in between, your shoulder blades, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. She said it is extremely tight up there. She saw my x-rays and she was telling me how it was pushing towards the middle and she couldn't believe that I don't have any pain. I was like, no. She said, what type of mattresses are you sleeping on? I'm like, okay. I was trying to explain to her that, I don't have the same mattresses I've had. I may have a cheaper mattress than what I used to have. And, cause I had really good mattress, before, I went through what I went through last year. And she started to ask me, well, some of my daily habits or whatever. So I was explaining to her, what I do and what I did and where that could, it could come from. She said, well, women carry stress in between their shoulders. I'm like, nope, I didn't know that. She was like, yeah, women carry their stress in between their shoulders. She said, whatever you do, you need to start treating yourself good. I was like, okay. She said, go get you some fruits, drink you a lot of water. She started going all into that. She said, so I went on to tell her that, well, last year, she asked me, was I, going through any stress or whatever? I said, well, last year, I went through a situation. And as soon as I said that, guys, my eyes started to fill up with tears. I was so embarrassed. I was trying to hold them back for dear life because I could tell this was a young girl. She don't want to hear my problems and she definitely want to see this old lady on the table crying. Like, what is wrong with me? So I was like trying to hold my tears back and I told her, I said, I'm sorry. I was in therapy, but I stopped my therapy about 2 months ago because first of all, therapy is hard. And second of all, I didn't think I needed it anymore. Like, I'm good. I'm in a good place, right? What that did, guys, was it reminded me that if you're not fully healed from a situation, you shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it and get it out. I'm going to go ahead today and book me an appointment with my therapist so I could get started back paying that high-ass therapist. But at least I'm not, just talking to anybody and getting on my friends' nerves, talking to them about, all my personal business. But what I did decide to do is start a series. And I want this series to be called, because I feel like I went through so much with my ex last year, but now I'm starting to realize that I am dealing with the betrayal of everybody else that I had to deal with that year that I was going through my breakup. So I want to start a series of story time, telling you guys about some of the things I dealt with and some of the things that you guys should be aware of so that it won't happen to you. If you guys think that is a good series to do, I'm probably gonna make like 5 videos or 6. I'll do story time and I'll drop 2 a day to make up for the 3 days that I didn't post. Since I've been cleansing, and then I got my confirmation from this chiropractor this morning, like I had no idea that I was gonna go to her and that was gonna happen. I just know I finished my 3-day cleanse. Well, I've been cleansing for 4 days. Tomorrow will be my 5th day. All I know is that I was doing my cleanse and something told me to make a chiropractor appointment, and I did, and it led me to talk to this lady. It had 3 doctors in there. I don't know how I ended up talking to this doctor. She was more like a chiropractor and a therapist, like a physical therapist and a mental therapist at the same time. Then to furthermore, to give me confirmation, my son called me and he was like, yeah, Ma, we were talking about something, and he said, have you ever heard of, I had told him absolutely nothing about what I was going through. I tried my best not to make my kids worry. So when I'm dealing with small stuff, I try to get through it on my own. And he was like, so Mama, have you ever heard of holistic healing? I was like, no, what is that? So anyway, he went on to tell me where you can do holistic therapy, and it helps to get to the root of, how everything started, anyway, I still got to look it up. But I was like, man, that's crazy. Why would you bring that up on a day like today? Y'all, why? I'm on the other end of this phone, because my son lives in California. I'm on the other end of this phone tearing up again. I'm like, what in the sex? Is my cycle coming on or something? Like, I'm way too emotional. But again, I have been cleansing, so I've been like cleansing with myself. And now that I'm talking to people, I'm trying to hold the things in that I was cleansing to get out. So you guys, let me know what y'all think about that. I want to do a series, and I'm not going to hold back. And when I say a series, I want to talk about some of the close friends I endured betraying me. Some of the people. I'm going to give y'all a short story time of one incident. And this will give y'all an idea of what my story times are going to be like. So, there's one situation, and I'm still healing from this. Believe it or not, friendships are equivalent to relationships when you lose them. You guys, let me know if y'all agree to that. Please let me know if y'all agree that friendships and relationships you can hurt the same from them both. Like, literally, I have friendships that I've had for a long time. And when you get into it with your friend and y'all are at odds, it hurts just like when you're in a relationship. Probably not like, I don't know. I love my friends deeply. So when things happen to me with my friends, I feel like a knife is in my back, literally. So I had a really good friend, and she's more like family, but I'm not even gonna go into what family she was, because listen, guys, the people who I dealt with in my past, I don't know what happened to me this year after my situation, But I was that person who forgive. I'm not saying I don't forgive, but I don't forgive the same way I used to. Like, I have no desire to talk to you, look at you, speak to you. I used to always say, if somebody did me something, we could talk about it, we move on. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I could talk. No, like, my cutoff game my cutoff game right now is pressure. Like, don't play with me. I'll never talk to you again. I have no desire. I have no desire to look at you, talk to you, call you, speak to you, say happy birthday. I have no desire to even know how you're doing in life. Period. If somebody bring up your name, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll talk to you later. I have no desire to even bash you or talk about you bad. Like, it's like you don't exist to me at all. I don't know where that came from. It's just like a light switch came on, and that's just how I felt. So, and that's never been me. I've always been so forgiving. So I had this really good friend, right? Y'all, she literally came and lived with me on about 3 different occasions. Whenever she was going through something, I mean, every time we went out to eat, I paid for her food. She used to watch my kids. She was a little younger than me. She used to watch my kids when they were young. I used to pay her. And not pay her because I needed her, but, well, I did need her, but she was in college, and I wanted to make sure, she's not that much younger than me. I want to say probably like 8 years. But I wanted to make sure that she had the money that she needed. So I would be like, oh yeah, could you pick the kids up from school, or could you do this, to make sure I could pay her. And, you know, and we just had a really good relationship. She loved my kids loved her, my grandbaby loved her. I mean, I could honestly say I was there for her a lot. Let's fast forward to my situation, right? I don't think I've ever, in our whole relationship, and we have been friends for probably 20 years. All my friends, I think I've been friends with for about 20 years. Anyway, so when I went through my situation with my ex, I was really going through it. I called her. I told her what happened. You know, I was very transparent with her about everything. And she didn't really seem to be that concerned. You know, normally anything that happens, it would never happen to me. But anytime anything would happen, she'll be like, I'm on my way or whatever. This time she wasn't like that. We talked, and I just figured, you know, okay, Cindy, don't take it the wrong way. So I continued to call her. Well, at this point, I'm probably about 4 months into everything happening. And I'm doing things to get myself, to keep myself occupied, like going to see different friends. I'm going to see my friend in Atlanta. My friend in Atlanta flew me to Jamaica. I went to go see my sister in Detroit. I'm just like getting out so that I can, you know, ease the pain and get distracted. So I called her and I said, also, I had decided that I came to realization that with everything I went through, I took for granted the people who was always there checking on me, calling me, all this kind of stuff. So I was like, let me start. And when I say calling me and checking on me, I meant like before my breakup happened. And for you guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just talking about a breakup. If you are new here and you don't know what happened, I was in a relationship for 18 years. I was cheated on by a person who pretended to be my friend, but she was like a devil with a blue dress on. Literally came in my house, pretended to be my friend. She wanted my life, and she did everything she could to destroy my life. I woke up one morning and caught her and my ex together in the bed, and since that day my life had turned upside down for me and for my whole family. But not really upside down. It was meant to turn me upside down, but I'm actually a better person today, and I feel like I'm a better and more whole person than I was before everything happened. That's another conversation. So that's for the new people. All right, guys. So I called this friend one day and I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to come and visit you. And she lives out of state. I said, I'm going to come and visit you for your birthday. She was like, okay, cool. And I just thought, like, yeah, she gonna be so happy because she been asking me to come and see her. You know, she's been, you know, anytime she, you know, I've been wanting to see her. I hadn't seen her. We talk on the phone all the time, but I had not seen her in like some months, maybe like 6-8 months, something like that. So I call her and I'm like, yes, you know, I'm excited. I want to come see you. It's your birthday. And of course, she knows everything that's going on because I told her, you know, how everything had happened and whatever. Y'all, I can tell that she seemed like she wasn't as happy as normal. But again, I'm thinking, okay, maybe she's just not saying it. Maybe she's toning it down. You know, I just don't... you know, you could tell when your friend like, yay, oh my gosh, when you coming? She was like, okay, all right, well, yeah, I'm gonna have everything ready when you get here, blah, blah, blah. So closer to the date, I really wanted to call her and say, friend, I can't make it, because I just was going through it and I didn't really want to reflect that negative energy on nobody. But at the same time, I was thinking, but it's her birthday and I don't want to say I'm coming and don't come. Plus, I really need this. I need my friend. Like, I really need a hug. I don't want to cancel this trip because this trip might be really what I need. Y'all, 2 days before it was time for me to go, she called me and she said, yeah, I was just calling to let you know that this might not be a good time for you to come because I was going to go somewhere else for my birthday. I'm like, yeah, I was going to go. And, you know, she told me where she was going. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I hung up the phone because my feelings were right. She wasn't too excited. She was being weird. And I clicked on her Facebook. Or was it Instagram? One of those. Instagram. And she made a comment. She made a post saying, I don't understand why people are calling me now. It was something to that, y'all. It was something to that. I don't want to read it because she gonna know who I'm talking about, and I don't know if she still watching my videos. But y'all, my feelings was so hurt, and I want to tell you what I got out of that. It was later confirmed, but this is what I got out of it. She thought I needed her, y'all. She thought that I needed her. You know, I had just told her, okay, me and my ex fighting over the house. I had just told her that I was in the process of, you know, going to court. I had just told her that everything that happened, I had literally just told her everything, you know, over the last few months have been going back and forth with her, telling her everything that happened. So for her, and this is exactly what she told a close mutual friend, is that she must have wanted to come and live with me. I was like, what? First of all, y'all, thank God. I thank God. I give God all the praise and all the glory that I never had to live with nobody, okay? My daughter opened her doors to me, and I didn't even go live with my daughter when I was going through my breakup because I'm a grown woman. Like, I could not. That would be my last resort to even go just going through something until I sell my house to go live with somebody. Like, I pray to God and I just ask God that he never have to send me through that because I don't know. I just, as a grown woman, that's just not something I want to do. And I'm not against anybody who do. I've been on my own. I've been in my own house since I was a teenager. I don't really know how to live in a house with another grown person unless it's really, really, really temporary. So, and I thank God so much that that's not what I had to do because I just didn't want to. But she thought I needed a place to live. She thought that I was going to need, mind you, I had done so much for her over the years. So much. I don't care how much money I had. She was never going to sit at a table with me and me tell her she had to pay for her own food. I don't care how much money I had. I was never going to sit there and think that, you know, she was my friend, but she was also somebody I trusted, and she was also somebody that I knew her situation. So therefore, I would not have ever asked her to contribute to something knowing that when she didn't have it. But for the one time, and anytime I got a hustle, I put her on. The one time that she actually could have been there for me, which I didn't really need nothing from her but a hug. Nothing from her. I was going to pay my own way to get there. I was going to spend her birthday, get a couple hugs, maybe shed a few tears, because she was the one person who I trusted. But that's all I wanted from her. But because she thought that I wanted something from her, she canceled my trip. Guys, be aware of giving people your all. Be aware of being there for people when you know their characteristics. I knew her characteristics, but I looked past them because I trusted her and I loved her. If you guys want some more stories like this, I literally have about 20 of things I went through after I was going, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but things I went through while that 1 year that I was going through the worst time of my life. How some of the friends I lost. I could come up with a title for it, but yeah, that's it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that, and this is something that you guys want to hear. Some of my stories that I went through while going through one of the worst times in my life. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for listening to this story time. Please drop y'all comments below. Please let me know what you guys think. Y'all do me a favor and have an amazing day.